Greetings guys and gals, this is Jabberwock bringing you the best in esports. Today we have Starcraft Broodwar, not the Shanahan Pro League, not the OSL, but the MSL, Group D, the final match. This isn't really technically the MSL, it's technically the NBC Survivor Tournament because it is the round of 32. Whoever wins this goes to the round of 16, which is the official MSL. And so yeah, and I'm going to tell you who's playing in this in 3, 2, 1 if you haven't figured it out already, or if you didn't want it spoiled. This is going to be Light versus Stork, and so only one of them can advance. But before I start, the reason why it's not playing is I wanted to kind of tell you guys a few things, and please don't fast forward because this stuff is really important. So lately I haven't had a lot of time to do a lot of looking up and backtracking player stats, and a lot of my analysis is based on the games that I've seen, not all the games in their entirety rather. And so a lot of my assumptions are wrong, like the fact that Reach plays for KT Rolster now instead of Air Force Ace, and that Anytime I believe was the Oz player in the OSL or whatever, stuff like that. And Maktira, I hope I said his name right, actually, sent me a message and commented on some of my videos and gave me a lot of criticism, but at the same time, it was constructive criticism. It's not like he took a big poo and just, hot steaming poo on my face. Sorry, that was really graphic. And there's another guy, I can't remember his name, who also did the same thing. He actually said that I wasn't ready for casting. But honestly, one, I do think I'm ready for casting, not to BM him or anything, but at the same time, I totally agree with both of them that now it's not just me casting for my friends anymore. It's not, those 16 people that watched my videos. Now I'm up to, 148, I believe, subscribers, which at the same time is not a lot, but I need to step up my game. I honestly need to step up my game. And, watching Day 9's 100th Day 9 Daily, go see that if you haven't, really inspired me, as well as Maktira and that other guy, to step up my game in all aspects of StarCraft. I'm playing more. I'm going to, look up stats for casting, look up maps and stuff, and I'm going to be really engaged because, what, if I'm not putting out good stuff, then I don't deserve to get more subscribers, and I don't deserve to, continue on casting. And what, I'm getting a more educated crowd, so they're going to be on me about stuff that I miss all the time. And so I appreciate the constructive criticism. I hope you guys keep doing it. I just want to get better as a commentator and bring the esports community together. So shout out to those guys. Those guys are really awesome, helping me out and giving me some constructive criticism. So now I'm going to try to give you some more insight, more stats and everything, and we'll go from there. So here's the game, guys. Alright guys, so like I said before, we have Light versus Stork. Light's going to be spawning at the 12 o'clock position as the orange Terran, and at the 4 o'clock we have Stork as the white Protoss, and this is going to be on Triathlon. Triathlon is a 3-player map, so one at the 12, one at the 4, and one at the 8 or 9-ish position there. And it's kind of weird because there are invisible eggs that are hidden by an arbiter that you can get your SCV through, cannot get regular units through. And you either need to splash damage or kill off the arbiter or get detection so you can kill off those eggs, and there's a base right next to your main base. And so that's kind of your first natural. So some players opt to take that base before they take their other natural, because that base is also on high ground and your natural is on the lower ground from that ramp. So we're going to see what type of play goes on in this map. There are a lot of ridges. We could possibly see carriers. Stork does like to go carriers quite a lot, and so we're going to have to see what type of play he goes. Early probe scout going out for Stork, going to scout in the correct directions, so going to see exactly what Light is doing. And just for some statistics for you guys, Light as of 2010 is 83 and 57, which is 60% win rate, and Stork is 61 and 37, which is a 62% win rate. Notable wins for each player is Light has pretty much only won the OGN Super Rookie Tournament in 2006, and the King of Silver is what Stork is known as, and has gotten second in a bunch of stuff. I believe he also won some WCG thing, but most notably he has won the 2008 OSL. And Light's K-Spa ranking is fourth, or no, not fourth, just kidding, seventh, I believe. And I don't know the K-Spa ranking for Stork, although his best matchup is versus Terran, and Light's worst matchup is versus Protoss. So we're gonna have to see how Light is able to cope with this, because Light is like only 45% versus Protoss. Anyways, we have a very, very early Nexus, maybe something like a 14 or 12 Nexus going down for Stork. So getting his Nexus before he even gets his Gateway, we might see a 1-Rex in the CC for, I almost said Flash just because it was 1-Rex in the CC, but no, not Flash, 1-Rex into CC for Light. These probes, you can't see the invisible eggs, but they're right under that arbiter there, and it looks like he's gonna probably try to put down a command center over there here, and yes, he does. That's why he had those 2 SCVs right there. The Gateway is almost done, as well as the Nexus is almost done. A Assimilator going down as well for Stork, and so both players are going for more macro play, which is gonna make the early game a little bit boring, but this is the final match, if you guys didn't know, which means that the winner advances and the loser does not. The way the MSL works is, at the beginning there are prelims, like 8 groups and of like 8 or 9, and the top 3 from each group advance to make 24, and then the top 8 from the last year advance to the round of 32. And so there is a round of 32 with 24 of the prelims and 8 from the top 8 of the last MSL, and this is the round of 32. So this really isn't the MSL, this is really pretty much the MBC Survivor Tournament. But nonetheless, this is an elimination match. It's either going to be Stork or Light who advances. And my money honestly is on Stork, just because Light is so terrible against Protoss. That command center almost getting done. That probe doing a very nice harassment. Might be able to pick off this SCV, and he is able to pick off the SCV. Very nice job there. This SCV is going to have to take over for his fallen comrade, and Stork looking like an. I just think Stork looks like he's like half retarded sometimes, man. Stork always has the goofiest expression. The SCV able to pick off that probe. That probe almost getting 2 SCVs kills. That would have been really, really good. It looks like the first SCVs coming in for Light did not send a very early scout. We have that core spinning, so I'm assuming that's for Dragoon range. And Light's gonna come in here with the SCV, gonna get past the Dragoon, gonna be able to get a good scout on the base. Sees the core spinning, so he's pretty standard play for Stork here. And something's morphing in up there, so he knows that there is possibly going to be hidden tech up at that northern position, just simply because the pylon's morphing in there. But also he could take it in another way and say, you know what, that's just for spotting, that's just so he knows if I come in with something, and that might not be for hidden tech at all. We have a machine shop going up on that factory, as well as a starport, so we might be seeing some drops or something like in that nature. That Dragoon is pounding away at that arbiter, gonna reveal those eggs, and you guys can see there are 6 eggs. You only really need to kill 4 to get your big units past there. That Dragoon getting some hits off on that SCV, but that SCV is going to be able to get away with its life. The other SCV just kind of staying here at the front. One of the Zealots tries to push in, not a good move there. There's just way too many Marines in the area. 2 Dragoons now pounding away at those eggs, so I'm assuming that Stork is going to want to go for a early expansion, and oh man, we see this core still spinning, which means that he's going for +1 air upgrades, which means, and with the Stargate, man, which means one thing, well, it could mean a lot of things. He could be going like a mass scout, but I highly doubt that. I'm pretty sure that he's going to go for early carriers, pretty much rush to carriers, and we're going to see how Light is able to deal with this. Hopefully he gets a comsat, he gets an academy, gets his comsats and comsats this, or even gets a scout in, but I highly doubt it. We see a control tower on that starport, and so we're gonna have to see if his drop, when he puts in the drop, if he's able to spot those Stargate. And we do see the fleet beacon. He's probably gonna have to put another Stargate up. Usually you go at least 2 Stargates when you go for carriers. He could go 1 Stargate, but I think that would be a stupid, retarded move on his part. So hopefully we see the extra starport sometime in the near future. We do have the academy going up. Machine shop is spinning. I believe he does have siege tech, so he's probably getting some mines or getting vulture speed if he's already got mines. We don't see that third base going up for Stork just yet. You can tell that he's definitely thinking about it, keeping the probe in that area, and I think these Dragoons are going to be just in the right position to deny this scout. He really needs to make sure that he moves those Dragoons up, though. He does spot it with the pylon, should be moving up the Dragoons. Yes, he does move up the Dragoons. The Vultures are landed, and they're not going to get anywhere near the base. They do put down a mine. That mine does not go off, does not even get into the ground, and that shuttle, or that dropship almost getting picked off. Not quite, though. We are seeing more factories being built, 2 comsats going down, so I think that he's probably going to expect arbiters, but, you know, Stork isn't going arbiters. He's going for those carriers, which is going to be, you know, just devastating if Light does not see this, because Light's probably going to go, you know, something like Vulture Tank, and you know you need a lot of Goliaths, but I think that he might be alright just because you can get a lot of Goliaths out as Terran player. You can just kind of macro up as long as he doesn't go for something too weird. He has revealed his starport though, or his Stargate rather, with that Corsair, so I don't know how good of a move that was. I don't think he really needed that scout that badly, because right now he's all in. I mean, what is he going to do? If he scouts that he's going mass Goliaths, he's still going to go all carriers. And so he has revealed that Stargate. I don't think that's a very good move at all. You know, because when you get the Stargate this early, I mean, it kind of motions to you that carriers are coming, just because I mean, I guess unless it's an Arbiter rush, but I don't know. I just don't like that move of revealing that tech. Here comes the Corsair attacking with the Dragoons, able to kind of lure it in to that Dragoon trap. Very nice job, not losing the Corsair either, and taking down that Wraith. Very nice job. Kind of peculiar that he built that Wraith, so he might be going some Wraith play in the near future. Usually just don't build one Wraith and kind of quit. So we might see some Wraith play in this game, as well as these 2 carriers. The first 2 carriers are out, 2 more being built, and it looks like Light is taking up another base, as well as Stork. Stork's taking his 3rd base as well, so both players going to be soon at 3 bases. This dropship probably going to see that there is the base morphing in. At the very least, it's going to be able to get... Wow, did he get a shot off? Wow, that was a long ways, man. That is a really long ways. He must have had to comset that. But that tank getting 1 shot off those 2 Dragoons and a shot off on the pylon. This dropship's gonna go down! The dropship does go down to that Corsair. Saving that Corsair was very, very good, as he only made 1 before he started building these carriers. We have Vultures in the midfield, and these two tanks sieging on this 3rd base. This 3rd base is not yet up and running, and it looks like Stork might reveal his carriers. Don't necessarily like that move at all by Stork. I think he should wait for, you know, 2 more. It looks like we're going like mass starports over here, so we might see like mass race from the Terran player Light. Don't know why he's doing that. Wraiths are pretty good against carriers, but with the assistance of Dragoons, it's going to be very hard for him to pick anything off, and we do see those first Goliaths, so I believe that he did spot it a little bit earlier than Stork attacking those tanks. So that's sorry, I can't talk. That might be why he went in and attacked anyways with those carriers. He's like, you know what, he's comsatted me, he knows that I'm going carriers, I'm just going to go kill off these 2 tanks, which is very, very viable. It looks like Light might be moving out with a mech army here, and we're kind of stockpiling Wraiths up there. He's kind of trying to hide him, it looks like. Pylon going down as well, and we have 4 carriers, which are, you know, it's an okay force. It's not really when you want to at least 6 kind of to go in for a big attack. 8 would be, you know, kind of an optimal number or more, but you know 6 can do a lot of damage, as you can see. You know, he's doing a very good job of using this ridge, not getting too many hits off on those carriers, doing a very nice job of kind of, you know, microing back and forth, and only really Light is only getting hits off on those interceptors, which is really nice for him. And oh man, Stork, what do you do? You know how much I hate when players lose units to mines. You just should just wait for the observer, man. Seriously, that's stupid. You just lost 2 Dragoons for absolutely no reason that you didn't need to, and you know, that a lot of times hurts the Protest player a lot, and you know, you can't really see it behind that behind the menu there, but he's really stockpiling these Wraiths. He's just gonna go in for kind of a Wraith sneak attack, it looks like here. He is engaging on a very advantageous spot on this ridge. The Goliaths are going to have a very hard time engaging those carriers at that point. More interceptors getting picked off, but it really doesn't matter. You know, the interceptors aren't too expensive to make, and they do make relatively fast. he does have spotting on that left hand side, also getting a base at that top left position. So, Stork really needs to make this work. This is pretty much an all in thing, because once the Terran economy gets going and he is able to make a lot of Goliaths, these carriers are not going to work. So, carriers a lot of times are a big all-in timing push, where you need to time it to where the Terran player doesn't have enough economy to really fuel his need for Goliaths and also ground units. Because if he goes way, way, way Goliath heavy, then you can really just switch off to Dragoons and Zealots and just take care of the Terran player that way. Just really do a nice job. And these missile turrets just going down so fast. He's got a critical number of carriers now. I think it's either 6 or 8, but he has a ton. Here come the stockpiled race, and Comsat going down to search for any observer. The observer's on the left-hand side. Here come the race attacking, and are they going to be able to kill it? They do see another Comsat going down, and he is able to pick off the observer. There's no observer in the area. Oh, there is still another observer. One more observer able to pick off the last observer, and so he's going to have to run back, wait for the other observer. This is going to be really bad. He loses one more carrier. He's probably going to lose another one. This observer is slowly making its way over, and finally it does, able to pick off all of the race. Very nice job there. Only 3 carriers left, though. It looks like Stork might be in a little bit of trouble. And because it looks like Light is at 4 bases, Stork is still only at 3. It looks like he might be trying to get another one at the 6 o'clock position. Here comes the carriers yet again, and he's got 2 more, so I think he's got about like 5 or 6. He does have an extra starport, Stargate, so he is making it out of 3 gates, which is a very nice job. And he's just able to macro up so many carriers. These carriers are coming in yet again, and oh my gosh, with the Dragoons, it looks like these 3 race aren't going to be doing anything, especially if there's an observer in the area. These racers are just going to get picked off so quickly. The missile turrets can't even get up either. Just these so many Dragoons, so many carriers. I think that Light is going to lose this match, ladies and gentlemen, because Stork, man, has just made me love carriers. Psych, I still don't like carriers, but nonetheless, he's just making them look good. He makes it look good, man, just like Will Smith and Men in Black. Here come the race yet again, but they're just going to be deterred. There is an observer. Don't know how many observers there are. He's trying to hide up behind those carriers, doing a very nice job. The observer does not get picked off. All those race go down, and we're going to have to see a GG pretty soon from Light, man, because he is absolutely screwed. There's no way he's coming back from this. Light GGs, and that's pretty much it, guys. Just carriers. GG. Lates.